All right, that's it. I'm going live. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the first time I'm doing this, so there's going to be a lot of technical problems. So I'm just asking everybody if they can hear me. If they can hear me, let's. Oh God, already getting comments already. So here's what's going to happen. There's a little bit of a delay when I'm streaming this. About 20 seconds later, if you put a chat in or comment in, then I'll answer it. If not, um, James, this is not catered. Uh, anyways, all right. Thank you for joining. The purpose of this live stream is to play my new EP called Theater of the Mind, and which is going to be released on December 24th. And I think I'm going to stage it out kind of like one release every day or every other day or something like that. And kind of with the intent of kind of just kind of instead of releasing it all out there, kind of, kind of helping kind of control a little bit of the views and everything. I found this before when I released so the previous, when I was in the '90s, a previous band called 110 Diesel, I released some of our basement tapes, and kind of the point of it was I released one every 5 days, and it allowed me to kind of control the analytics a little bit. Allowed me to kind of go, all right, one was released, I can promote that one out, and albeit I wasn't doing anything crazy with the promotion, but what I did notice is those that people that did listen to it on YouTube help kind of build the algorithm up. So every time I released one, it got a little bit more incrementally on listeners. And so that may be more of a successful way of delivering some of the material. Instead of releasing it all out there and everybody just kind of like listening to one song and then kind of moving on, it allows a little bit of time for the songs to be digested properly if that's a thing. And I've noticed it a lot with a lot of the kind of um, not the popular bands, but some of the lower bands. They're trying to find their way to release material and get it listened. There's a mountain of songs and material out there that that just there's not enough time in a day or even in a lifetime to hear all of it. And for the most part, how do you get somebody to listen to your songs? And so the way that I've started to see a little bit of success, like my EP I released last year on December 24th, which is the Ultra Magnus one that you see on the screen. I guess for you guys, it would be that right there. If you're familiar with Ultra Magnus and listen to those songs, I hope everybody did. Um, I'll be pretty pissed off if you did. But with that being said, I released everything all at once, and I noticed a few of the songs that I sent a little bit early got quite a bit of quite a bit of listens, and then kind of the bottom half of the three songs, the numbers were really tailed down. And so one thing that caught my attention a lot was just or not really caught my attention, was interested me, was how do I actually present this in a way to where I get kind of a level listening field for everyone. Everybody goes into it with a kind of a perspective or with a, at least at least listen to the songs. Now, when you listen to a lot of the songs, I get to the YouTube analytics and I can say, oh, they only listen to like the first 20 seconds or whatever. I can see the peaks on it. I can't individually pick out one person and go, why did you only listen to 20 seconds of the song? But I can see kind of the law of averages, just kind of where everything kind of where people lost interest into the song, what works and what doesn't work. So YouTube's pretty smart about kind of keeping track um, of how you can view and where you can see what works and what doesn't work. And so it's a game I think everybody, as a kind of a musician to some degree, has to kind of create a strategy. And I think this is something that with technology and with everybody doing this at home and everybody being a musician, you're always going to have a struggle or a point of saying, all right, how do I release this and actually get anybody to listen to it? And even the analytics that I have for the Ultra Magnus, they're pretty low. I mean, I think only two of those songs got over 100 or listens. And I don't even think that even of those, I think only 30% of them, maybe even less than that, listen to the entire song. So I know we live in a world where we have a quick or short attention span on music, and for us to really focus and entertain, I mean, even buying CDs. Who buys CDs? I still buy CDs, not as frequent as I did back in the '90s. Um, but if it's a band that I really like and something that I know I'm going to deep dive into, I'll buy their music. I'll help keep that band working and making money because I like their music. Will I love it entirely? I think we can all say we've never bought a CD or an LP or anything and loved every song on it. I mean, there may be a few songs, and I could say something like Master of Puppets was a beginning to end, just for me, was a beginning to end. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime was an album I could listen to completely beginning to end, and there was not a bad song on there. So I mean, you get a handful of songs where or a handful of albums that really kind of speak to you and everything like that. But that is so rare nowadays. Nowadays, you just kind of have to really focus on somebody's attention, and you have to get it, and you have to keep it 100% interest. And how do you do that nowadays? I think that's the magic kind of formula that we're all searching for. There's no way for everybody to everybody has to figure out their own strategy on how to get their music out there. I know for a fact that what I did last year did not give me the results I wanted. So I'm willing to try a little bit different to see if I can get it out there. But I can talk all day, and I'm going to talk mostly. I'll play some of the songs, and I'll have the songs maybe running in the background. I'll listen to some. I'll try to read some of the chats. If anybody has anything to say or whatever, just go ahead and post it in there. I got a lot of topics to cover, and I'm actually considering doing this on a weekly basis, not essentially playing my music every week. I mean, I'd probably get a lot of people that'd be like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this." This is, you know, for me, it'd be great. I'd love it. Force feed my own music out to everyone until the listeners are so full of hate that they just, Anyways, I won't go down that road. But anyways, a lot of things to talk about. The goal of what I want to do here, I put a lot of thought into this, and initially my kickoff was let's just live stream the music. If anybody shows up, they show up. If they don't show up, eh, there's a chance that you'll get to hear the music at the end of December, or as I continue to release more things, they'll be out there for you to listen to. This is kind of like what I feel is a fun kind of gathering sort where you get a lot of people together. Maybe most of the people I got a feeling are all people that I know directly. There's going to be a lot of friends and family. I don't think I'm going to be hitting any of the, second circle or, yet. And I got a feeling it's going to take a while before I ever get to that second circle or even the third circle where you start really generating core listeners and dedicated fans and things like that. And at that point in time, you got to kind of have to be on your A game to really bring in content. But my goal is essentially what was to do this once and seeing how this goes and how I set this up. I may do this on a weekly basis. And kind of the things I wanted to talk about was kind of, not only my songs, which could be a one-off thing, every time I want to release a song or something like that, maybe I just implement it into a live stream. But, things that, that I can work on specifically where um, by the time I get to retirement, and I'm not that far off, I'm maybe 10 or 15 years away from retirement, I want to have something that I can lean on to help bring in a little bit of income, help supplement, whatever, retirement is, keep me active into the industry, keep me active into music, and kind of break away from the 9 to 5, something that I can do casually, still generate income. And if I'm 10 or 15 years away from really getting to there, then I got 10 or 15 years to really build this up. So this may be a start of something, or maybe something I never do again. I'm not exactly sure. Um, I got a microphone now. I got soft lights. I got a computer. I don't know how this is going to go. Hopefully it goes real well. So first and foremost, and I'm going to start off one of the opening track um, on the album, if I can find. There it is. So the album is called Theater of the Mind. Sorry, I just lost my thought there. And this is the first track. It's called Cut You Out. It's kind of a, everybody can hear it. It's too loud. How are the levels? No music? All right. Let me see if there's something I can do here. That is interesting because prior to this, let's try that again. Technical difficulties. Is that what? Still no? All right, before we start losing everybody here due to technical difficulties, I have no idea what happened. I had this working. I ran a test earlier today, and I'm not exactly sure why I do not have audio for that now. Let me see if there's need to do in the settings here. I get an idea. If it's coming through, I guess you can't do a thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't know what the hell happened. have any problems with that? All right, that was the opening track. I apologize for that. I have no idea. I started messing around with the volume levels. I think I put my microphone up too high and I turned the volume down. In my mix of hearing things online versus what I say, I'm trying to balance it and level it out in my own personal mix. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I think that took the regular mix, the output mix, and changed it. So um, just doing one more check. Is there anybody having any issues with hearing anything? Is my microphone okay? Is the audio from the computer okay? Anybody just give me a thumbs up. It seemed fine to me when I was logged in on my phone as a guest. So if it's working there, then I assume it's working for you. If it's still not working for you, it's probably it's on your end. It's not on mine. But anyways, that was track number one. Kind of wanted to how that song actually generated is called "Cut You Out." If you know back in I believe the early 2000s, Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains put a song out called "Cut You In," and as you can see, there's a little bit of car sounds in it. Um, it's a really basically written song. It's got doesn't have a lot of complexity to it. It's kind of got a dirty metal sound to it. Kind of an Alice in Chains kind of view to it. Is what I see. And when I was looking to title it, every time when I listen to it, because I build it on my own on my computer, and when I build it on my own, um, the, the problem is I have is either you start a song and you have a title immediately in mind, or you already have a title somewhat in place for a song that you want to build to, or if you start, and sometimes this happens to me is where I'll just start putting in drum tracks and start just jamming over some drums, and I'll come up with something really cool, and then like I have a on my phone I got a list of like just song names and titles that I've collected over the past 10 years. And I'll just scroll through all of them, and I got probably about 500, and I'll just find, oh, that song title fits the song or the ambience of the song. So I'm gonna move on. So the next song is called Dark Blue Night. Now this one is one of my first songs I ever really recorded live when I first started getting into recording, and a few people that's heard it and has called it like the Pink Floyd song. It's got some elements of Pink Floyd to it. But this one actually, I hold on to this. I was going to release it last year with the Ultra Magnus EP, but the problem was I think there were too many similar songs that I needed to break away and pull this one. And go, all right, I'm gonna work on this one and release it. Anyways, I'm gonna play this one, and hope you like it. There you go. That's song number two. Um, Dark Blue Night. Um, it was interesting. I kind of felt like just the progression, and it felt like the title really fit that song. That was just me. So I'm going to do one thing real quick here. Um, I was going to show you. I know you guys are probably like, "Hey, now you're a big time musician, putting music out there for the world to see." So I do have analytics on the streaming side of how many people actually listening and how much money I'm making. I'm gonna show you this real quick. This is a little bit embarrassing. So if you know anybody that's a musician, all right, so you really have to kind of like, well, first and foremost, I think there's gonna be in about 20 years there's no such thing as a musician anymore. Well, as a 100% musician, I think that is going to die. Everything's going to have to keep musicians. There's no money. Anyways, here's what I'm going to show you. I hope everybody can see this. So this is a um, kind of a checkpoint of the things I've submitted, and this goes into two categories. I did release some one-time diesel stuff, and I released my own stuff. But essentially, what we're looking at here is we're looking at Spotify. These are my estimates, and I can sort it by different other, iTunes and Amazon, which is going to give me a big zero here. Nobody listens to my shit on there. It's straight zeros across the board for iTunes and Amazon. Thank you. And let's see if Apple Music has anything. Um, but kind of the humor behind this is that yeah, in the last year I've had three people on Apple Music, and it's so I had three songs listened to. I don't even know if they're listening to the full song or whatever, but ultimately it's dying. Well, let's go to Spotify. I want to kind of show you this real quick. So um, in the last 365 days, this is Spotify, not saying anything about Amazon or anything. Um, I've only had 62 listens, and that's between the two releases that I had. I even went, if you look at this kind of, the streams, per week and monthly, I went entire month of August and October completely dry, not even a listen. So I get it. I'm not out there, burning it up, trying to get listens and anything like that. My self promotion is, practically asking my friends to please listen to my music. But the kind of the point of what I'm saying here is that you know it's hard to be a musician that really makes it nowadays. Now, if you really want to see the kind of the win of this is the financial side. Now, this should get some laughs here. So essentially, I've made 33 cents off of Spotify, Amazon. All right, so wait a minute. So I made 7 cents off of Spotify. I've made 11 cents off of YouTube ads, 10 cents off of YouTube Red, whatever the hell that is, and I think that's it. But anyways, it equates to 33 cents. So you know, anybody that ever wants to get into the music industry and you put all your uh, blood, sweat, and tears into, really trying to put music out there and get people listening to it and get them to not only just listen to it, but to continually listen to it. I mean, the continually listen to it is where you're really going to um, succeed as this, and like I said, this is not a winning solution. It's not a profitable solution. So my advice is to anybody that ever wants to go into the music industry that's thinking that they're going to actually make money at it, just become a plumber or electrician or, get into some field, do this as a hobby, start young, build a collection. You're competing literally against, I would say, millions of people, not only in the U.S. but globally, for your listening attention. And for the most part, if you don't have a song where people can like relate to beginning to end and go back for more, you may as well forget about it. And don't get me wrong, I really have a lot of respect for a lot of musicians that are out there, and they do a great job. But there's one thing I will tell you: I go to the regular songs that I listen to on a regular basis. I mean, I listen to Dream Theater. I listen to Dream Theater, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Seven Dust. I listen to these guys, and it's very hard for me to break out of that shell. Somebody's got to hit me with something that's just, really, really, just really gravitates to me for me to really interest me. And it's hard to find that, once you kind of get set into what you normally listen to and everything. I think hopefully everybody can say the same thing is they like what they listen to and they're going to keep listening to it because it makes them feel good. And when somebody introduces something new, eh, it takes a while to grow on it. And that's the way I feel about my own music. I'm not expecting everybody to keep going back. And I think what you're going to get is a lot of curious people that constantly will be like, it's guitar instrumental. There's no singing on it. So I mean, I'm gonna trim out, with no vocals in my songs, 99% of the people that of the listening audience, if not more than that. And then that less than 1% that loves to listen to instrumental music. We got to dig in deeper. I mean, I kind of look at where my target audience is going to be. Is definitely not friends and family, but the guitar community and people that do listen to you know, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, Dream Theater, stuff that, you know, really has a very, very small demographic of people. But, you know, that is a loyal group. And, how do you get to them? You really have to target that. You're not going to get your Taylor Swift fans to come out of the gate to go, oh, I'm going to listen to Phil's music. Nope. Rule that right out immediately. That is not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I'm not even going to try. So if that's your expectations, of what you're going to do with your music or anything like that, make sure you have just kind of a general sense of saying, you know, a lot of people don't change their mind when it comes to music. They get into their trench. They listen to what they really know and like, and they will go back and listen to them because it releases uh, those that dopamine or whatever that says this makes me comfortable. This is where I want to be at. And if you cannot provide music on that same level, then have that full expectation of you're going to have to work your 8 to 5 job. And you know anyways, and I know most of the people that I'm talking to probably in this room are all you know, you know, probably I'd hope to say is already kind of at that point in time where they know this stuff already. Everybody knows. A lot of the younger people, and I could say this, and being when I was younger, it's like it could be the next Metallica or whatever. It's like no, they got a special formula and staying power and things like that. And how many bands did in the '80s? Even a lot of the hair metal bands that were very popular back in the '80s aren't doing shit nowadays. I mean, don't get me wrong; most of those guys are probably not in the best of health, but and they've slowed down their recording and touring. They're probably not in the shape that they could possibly do what they did 20 or 30 years ago. But I guess it all boils down to is like whether I put this out there or not, I gotta have the opinion of saying, hey, if no one listens to it, I accept it. You know, I'm not going out there to become the next Bon Jovi or anything like that with my music. So I that ship has sailed. I'm just gonna release what I release, and if somebody likes it, that's a win for me. If somebody doesn't like it, eh, I tried. Anyways, the next song is called Summer of '92. So I ripped this one off a little bit from Brian Adams. And it does have kind of an interesting beginning and end. It's a fun song. It's an uplifting song. It's kind of pop punk. Anyways, I'm done talking here. I'll let you hear it. Well, are you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Everybody put your hands together and clap. There you go. That is song number three. A little bit extra to add on top of that. That one actually is my favorite song off of this EP, and the reason why I love this one is I think it's easy to listen to. I think that it's something that doesn't require, it's sit back, listen. I guarantee if you put that on repeat three times and just listen to the song three times, you're going to be at least humming it or familiar with it to a point where you actually do gravitate. I don't know why. To me, it seems like a song that really can catch your attention, and I hope you do too. Hope it catches yours too. If it doesn't, oh well. Only a couple more songs to go. Like I said, a couple more things I wanted to go over is what are my plans with this channel. And I mean, essentially, I just been releasing music, and with that, I parallel what I release on YouTube with what I release on Apple and Spotify and everything else. So, I spend after hours and weekends working on these songs, and I got about 100 songs that I have in the process of either in its beginning stages or near completed. So I got enough material song wise to keep releasing stuff. But I also want to actually get to a point where I'm doing more than just releasing. So I mean, things that I talk about that I'd like to do is, like, you know, talk about helping people with their guitar journey. What are they doing? What are they working on? I don't want to give lessons. I think the internet is full of guitar lessons. If you want to learn to play guitar, get on YouTube. You'll find 1,000 channels of people teaching you chords and scales and music theory. I mean, you you have so many options to go forward and just learn everything you want to learn. And trust me, when I was in my my teens, there was no information like what is out there right now. It is a world of information, and there's nothing that I can teach somebody on guitar that the internet can teach them in a much clearer and efficient, better way. So teaching guitar, if somebody asks me, it's like, well, how do you do this or how do you play that? Yeah, fine. If I feel like doing it, I'll do it. But I don't feel there's any value. I think that, I wouldn't be the perfect person to go through and ask questions unless you're really kind of at a dead end point and you're struggling. But a lot of it is just picking up the guitar and playing. I didn't really start playing guitar until I was like 42 years old. I mean, I started when I was younger, and I get to learn chords, and I wrote some songs, when I was younger and everything like that. But I didn't know music theory. I didn't know scales. I didn't understand any of the musically the construct of it. And when I was living in Laos, it took me one time it was just like to I need to learn or wanted to learn how Kirk Hammett does his solos, Joe Satriani does his solos. I mean, how do these guys come up with this stuff? So I immersed myself into learning the scales, fingering exercises, really kind of getting to learn, all these things I'm in. And I'm unfortunately at a place where this is through natural progression. Is I need to listen to some really technical and intricate music to really satisfy my musical needs. I can't listen to like anything that's simple, basic. Anything that's just kind of just a steady beat with you know, and lyrics can be very important, everything like that. But because of all I've learned with guitar and everything, that's why I listen to a lot of progressive metal and progressive music, is because they break out and do some of the most estranged and forward-thinking things that really kind of make you, really make you kind of go, how are they actually doing that? And so that's kind of where my journey's gone with the guitar and learning to play and everything like that. But the other things I want to do is, um, possibly do some interviews. And I'm not saying like Rick Beato interviews, where he's out interviewing Sting or David Gilmour or, all these top high profile engineers. I mean, I'm more the trailer park version of that, of anybody that's local, that really has a, I don't know. And of course, that's where you kind of really kind of win, is when you do get a David Gilmour interview or a Paul McCartney interview or someone like that. You really kind of you hit a grand slam. That's when you've made it, I guess, when you're doing this stuff. Um, Discussions on music. Dream Theater has a new album coming out soon, and I can't wait. Mike Portnoy is back in the band, and I just really I have not looked forward to new music almost hardly any at all. But with the new Dream Theater album coming out, I really am looking forward to hearing it. So I'm going to play another song while, I may run over 1 hour here. I really don't want to. Let's get through this. So you're going to be surprised by this next song. This next song originated from a piano. So hope you like it. That one was called A Celebration of Life. This was a huge challenge because I never played over kind of a backing track of piano. So I found this software where I can make like piano riffs, and I put it this is a skeleton of a song. It's literally a piano track that's stereoed, a drum track that's all pieced out and stereoed, one singular bass track and one singular lead track. It is probably the thinnest production I have out of all of my. I know a lot of people are like going, I don't give a shit. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're speaking a foreign language to me. Let's just say this song right here, as powerful as it is and how well it's balanced, is like almost as clean as just a singular live band. There's no layered tracks behind it. A lot of the tracks that I have three layers of guitar, two harmony level leads, even doubling bass tracks sometimes, So it's thick and dense. This is pretty thin. Anyways, this is kind of the concept is kind of like not only celebrating of life events, kind of like things, births, marriages, milestones, death, anything that kind of falls within that realm. I wanted to have something that's kind of like just a kind of something that's emblematic of that, and something as a takeaway that you can't just say, this is prospectively meant to be focused on a certain type of milestone or whatever in life, but kind of in a general sense. And I really got a lot of inspiration from Journey of all bands. I'm not a big Journey fan. I think Neil Sean's a fantastic guitar player, and their music is iconic and they're very special. But this one of the takeaways is like when I was trying to really piece this together, I listened to a lot of Journey and tried to go, all right, well, how is Neil Sean really kind of presenting himself in the music? So I only got 9 minutes left. I'm going to get to the last track. The last track is heavy metal. So if you're already at a point where you're just like, I don't want to hear anymore, this is probably going to turn you away a little bit more. But I like this song. This is my celebration, or I guess my, not celebration, my ode to Cthulhu. I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. I like classic horrors. I don't like a lot of the newer stuff. The newer stuff just seems to, I don't know, just it's made for, younger kids or whatever. There's nothing newer that's been out that really strikes me. But like the classics, and I think you may hear the initial riff as being a throwback. And this was a song that I initially made a long time ago. I kept this riff around because it's kind of like an old school monster type of riff. But anyways, here's some heavy metal, and I hope you like it. That's it. That's all 5 songs. Um, so I'm going to close out. I know we got 4 minutes left in the hour. I do want to show you a couple of things. I do have my track that I'm going to release on April 1st already in place. It's called Vascular. This is the cover art for it. It'll come up. It's slow. Here we go. You know, one of the nicest things about um, modern, the AI tools are so good. So this is all AI done. I literally put 5 minutes of work into this, as is the the Theater of the Mind album. Um, where's that? I think it's this one, or yeah, this one. This is all AI made. I went on an AI I went on an AI site, and I really didn't know what to put in there. I put some catchy things. I was like, it's like old Asian, Japanese, whatever with dragons. And as you can tell right here, there's like an extra foot here or something. I don't know. And what are these things? I don't know what it is, but you know, doing this over AI saved me quite a bit of money of either or time, either doing the work myself or um, you know, paying someone on Fiverr to do it for me or whatever. So, anyways, that is it for the album. I wanted to thank everybody for your time. Thanks, and have a good Thanksgiving. And thanks for giving me your time. I may do this next week. I think I may talk about the Iron Maiden concert that I went to. Um, got a lot of things to talk about. Queensryche. Um, there's, we could, I don't know if the new Dream Theater album comes out early December. I'm not sure if it'll be out by then. Just a lot of things to talk about. Maybe just get on there. And if anybody has a webcam and wants to join me, then, maybe we can arrange something where you can log in. We can have the conversation. Anyways, thanks for your time, everyone. I will not be releasing this until after December 24th. Um, just, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you for your time today, and everyone have a good Thanksgiving, and hope you come back for more. Thank you.